Hi there, I'm Beverly Payne and this is Payne and Simple Makes. Thanks for joining me today. In my last tutorial I demonstrated how to make really beautiful layered paper flowers out of cardstock, similar to these here. And I promised that I would show you how to use these paper flowers in a project. So that's what we're doing today. In today's tutorial we're going to combine our layered paper flowers with a letter to make letter art. This is a simple project and you really just need a whole bunch of layered flowers, an alphabet letter, and hot glue. The letters I make are about 11 and a half inches tall, and if you choose to make a similar size, then you're going to need approximately 12 to 13 or 12 to 15 flowers to fill in the letter fully. So choose colors that work for you. I'm trying to use up my stash of cardstock, so I chose colors that are similar to my brand colors. For the letters, I use cardboard for my letter P, and then a lightweight cardstock for my S. I would probably go with a heavier weight cardstock next time if I decided to use cardstock. The cardboard actually worked very well. You can cut these out with your Cricut or other cutting machine. Or if you want to purchase a letter, you could do that as well. I've seen some really nice wooden letters and styrofoam letters at craft stores. And then you also need hot glue or some other kind of glue, and that's it. Just those three things. I think you'll enjoy this project. If you notice on my P, I've added some greenery. And so in my maker library, you will find the SVGs for those pieces of greenery for those leaves. So this project would look great in your craft rooms. I'll be hanging mine here in my Payne and Simple Makes loft. It would also be cute in a child's bedroom or really any other area of your home. Time to get started. Make sure you've downloaded the leaves SVGs from my maker library first. It's item number 7. Open Cricut Design Space or whatever software you're using to cut out the leaves and letters. In Cricut Design Space, click New Project, then click Upload. Choose Upload again and then browse to find the SVGs for the 2 leaves. Open and click Insert Image, and the leaves will pop into your canvas. Choose Ungroup because the leaves come into Design Space grouped together, and then click Make It. Your screen will show your mat and you can decide how many of each leaf you want. I'm going to cut 2 of each, so I changed the number of copies to 2 and hit Apply. Design Space adds those extra copies to the mat. Be sure and to check the size of your mat and note how you need to orient your paper, whether landscape or portrait. Click Continue. I don't have my Cricut Maker connected, so I've got to wait a few seconds until my computer finds it. For the leaves, I choose lightweight cardstock. You might need to browse materials if it doesn't come up. Choose default pressure and then the fine point blade and let it cut. Okay, now for your letter, you're going to start a new project. Use your text tool and type in your letter. I'm typing in an S here for simple. Change the size. Make sure the width and height are locked to keep the right proportions. I would change the height to 10 3/4 inches. You can see the size of the letter changes once you add those numbers in. Click Make It, and it's going to sort it into your mats. Since I'm just doing one letter, I have one mat, but if you do multiple letters, yours may sort into additional mats. Again, I choose lightweight cardstock. Choose default pressure and the fine point blade. Now if you choose cardboard, you will need to browse all materials to locate the cardboard, and you may need to use a different blade. Cut out your letter. Okay, now it's time to add all of the flowers that we made to our letter. I'm going to use 3 of my biggest flowers as anchor points on the left hand side of my letter P. And you may want to do the same with your letter. Determine the anchor points and then use your biggest flowers there. So for me, I'm going to be putting 3 big flowers on the left-hand side of my P because I look at that straight side as the foundational piece of my letter. I'm going to put a medium-sized flower at the very middle of the curve of the P. And you can see that a lot of times I'll put that flower down before gluing it just to see if I like the way it looks there. Now at this point we just want to fill in all the open spaces with our medium and small flowers. I start by just adding some flowers up at the top to fill in from the top left over to the center of that bubble on the P. Now that I'm working through this though, I actually feel like there's a better way. So what you can do is find the center point between 2 flowers and add another flower there. Keep filling in the center points or the middle points between 2 flowers and eventually you'll fill up the entire space. So you can see that I'm gluing flowers, small and medium flowers, in between 2 other flowers. And I'm going to fill up my space this way. So I'm going to add one down here near the bottom. Oop, and I burned my finger. Make sure you don't grab the hot glue with your finger. Keep adding flowers in the center, and the more you add, the smaller your flowers will probably need to get. So you'll probably end up or finish up with some of your smallest flowers. It'll probably take you about 12 or 13 flowers to get your letter completely covered unless you resize the SVGs. If you made the SVGs larger, you probably won't need as many flowers. If you made them smaller, you're going to need a few extra. But I think that both my letter P and my letter S took 12 or 13 flowers to fully cover. And you do want to try to make it look full. You don't want to skimp because then you're going to see the cardboard or the cardstock in the back. And one thing that you could do is to choose cardstock that's in a complementary color. So here I could have used maybe a pink cardstock, and that way the cardboard wouldn't be as obvious if I did have a gap somewhere. But it's pretty easy to just fill in with all the flowers, and if you're like me, I actually had some flowers left over, so I have plenty of flowers for this project. Alright, I have my entire letter covered and it's time to add the greenery. I've got 2 different types of leaves here and I need a minute or 2 to figure out how I want them placed. Once I know where they should go, I add glue and stick them in the flowers. And you can see I'm sticking this one in one of my big roses, one of my anchor flowers. You often see roses with the greenery still attached, so it makes a sort of sense to do that. And I designed these leaves from actual rose leaves, so it makes a lot of sense to add them to the roses. I'm going to add my other 2 leaves on the other side of my letter. These leaves are slightly bigger and they're cut out to show some veins. It's just a different type of leaf. And I'm going to add them to the other side to balance out the P. Adding the greenery, I think, brings another dimension to this project. So let's add the last leaf. I'm going to put it up here just as the P starts to curve. I'm going to add glue to the cardboard and then stick the leaf on there. Make sure that they're tucked underneath the petals of the flowers. And there you have it. You have used your layered paper flowers to create letter art. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Please click like below and share this video with your friends. I would love to see your letter art made from paper flowers. Be sure to join me at beverlypayne.com for more projects and tutorials.